My wife wanted to open our marriage. Now, I have a new lover, and she regrets everything. Never once did I think I would get to this point, but here we are. My wife and I have been together for 10 years, but married for 8. We met in college and were each other's first and only. I honestly thought we had a unique and beautiful relationship because of that, but it appears it was just me. Some time ago, my wife began working at a new company. At first, she found it difficult to fit in because she's always been reserved, but after encouragement from me, she made friends with a group of girls. Some were single, some divorced, and others dating but not married. I was glad she had friends, but then she started going out for drinks all the time. She got into partying, and I noticed the change in her right away. She started coming home later and later, and we stopped being close. I didn't want to be that husband who tried to control her, but I couldn't help feeling left behind. Then her company got a new manager. My wife and her friends really liked him. She started mentioning him, at first just in passing, then all the time. It wasn't just about work anymore either. When I asked her about it, she shrugged it off. That's when she started asking if I regretted not having more experience with women. I told her no, she was all I ever needed, but she looked sad and quickly changed the subject. Then, out of nowhere, she brought up an open marriage. She said she didn't want to lose me, but didn't want to have regrets either. I was floored. I asked if this had anything to do with the manager, and she denied it, but her answer didn't sit right with me. Still, I didn't want to force her into anything, so I reluctantly agreed. That's how it started. She went on dates, had one-night stands, and after a while, she was basically in a relationship with the manager. I tried to go out too, but it never felt right, so I mostly stayed home. My wife would check in on me, ask if I was okay, but nothing changed. I started to feel like I was disappearing. Then I met someone. She just moved here from South Korea, and she was different from anyone I'd ever met. We clicked right away. We started seeing each other, and for the first time in a long time, I felt alive again. She made me feel wanted. My wife noticed, but at first she thought it was cute. As things got more serious, she started to change. She came home early, made dinner, dropped by my work with lunch, and tried to be close again. But for me, something had changed. I barely went along with it, and when I did, it was just to get it over with. One night, I asked her what brought all this on. She said she wanted to show me she loved me. I couldn't help but laugh. I asked her about her friends, her manager, all the nights she was out. She didn't answer. She went to bed in tears. The next day, she said she wanted to close the marriage. She told me she regretted everything and wanted us to focus on our relationship again. She finally admitted her friends had planted the idea. The manager encouraged her. It was thrilling for a while, but she realized it cost her too much. She said she never needed to compare, that what we had was special, but now she felt like she'd killed our marriage. I told her I wasn't sure I could see her as my wife again. She broke down and cried. I just held her as she cried herself to sleep on the couch. After that, she quit her job, cut off her friends, and stopped seeing the manager. But I didn't cut off my lover. I wasn't ready to let go of the one person who made me feel good about myself. We went to therapy. My wife confessed everything. Her friends egged her on, the manager flirted, and she convinced herself it was harmless. She swore nothing physical happened until after we opened the marriage, but finally admitted they'd done things that weren't technically sex. That hit me hard. She fell apart in front of the counselor. Later, I asked her what made her see the manager for what he was. She said she overheard him talking about her to a coworker, bragging about how easy it was. She realized she'd just been a distraction to him. She said she never stopped loving me, but it didn't make the hurt go away. She begged me to start over somewhere new, but I said I needed time. When we got home, I started packing. She got a call from one of her old friends who was in tears. Turns out, after my wife left her job, the friend hooked up with the manager too, and now she had a pregnancy scare. Her boyfriend found out, everything exploded, and it was all because she was curious about the experience. I've been staying in an apartment ever since. I've also seen a divorce lawyer at my brother's recommendation, just to be safe. As of now, I am not really willing to fight for this marriage, and it seems my wife can sense it. Before I left, she tried to initiate intimacy, but when I refused, she yelled and asked, "What does your lover do for you that I can't?" I didn't respond. I shook my head and told her, "If you still can't tell after all that's happened, then it's clear where our marriage is headed," and left.
I couldn't finish the entire story in this short. Full story